my name is Angela. I saw Josh's video and I decided to make my own because, I want to stand for this resistance as well. I decided to do it in the pews of my church just because, I like kind of the look of it, but also just because, this is like where I grew up and where I belong, kind of, in that sense. But so many people see this church pew as something so different, and this church is something that we shouldn't see it as. We see this as the only place where we can meet God ever. People come here on Sundays, they worship God, they leave. And a lot of people have heard that. I'm sure whoever's watching this, you've heard that like people, church is just a meeting place, and it can't be that any longer. But I do believe that you should come to church and you should have community, and it's great. But I think that we need to broaden our horizons and understand that church can be a place at home. Church can be in your schools, in your work, with your friends, wherever God is present. I think that's where church is. So I guess that's part of my resistance, what I'm standing for. There's a lot of other things as well. But yeah, that's just what I wanted to start with. I guess I can share my story now to an extent because I have a lot of it. But where I wanted to start, I think, is in middle school when all of it really did happen. When I was in middle school, I was fine, I was in that weird age, so I was like really odd and really quirky and stuff. And I went to a Christian, I graduated, but I went to a Christian school, really small class. I graduated with 19 kids, so yeah, that's pretty tiny. But in middle school, I think, and I still do think, I can help people too much when really I can never, because I take problems and I put them on myself and try to solve them myself, and that in no way can be done. But in middle school, I found this girl came back after being away for a while in a different school and being homeschooled. And so I was like, I really love this girl. I've been with her since kindergarten. She left and totally changed. And she was really into the depression scene and cutting, and I really wanted to help her. So I decided that maybe I could do something and maybe I could help her. But in helping her, I was brought down myself. So I was really open to all that stuff, and just then, I started to be depressed. I started to really just not care about what the world and what Christians thought of me, and I started cutting myself. Thankfully, I've been away from that, but that definitely carried out all through my high school career. And it's surprising because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't see that, and they find it surprising when they hear about it. So I'm sure those people who do know me, you're probably shocked. But I could say that I did live a double life in high school, because a lot of the time I would be fine, and only my really close friends would know. I would be fine at school, and I could go to school, and I could act like everything was okay, and I would laugh, and I would have fun times with people, and then when I got home, I would be totally depressed, and I would go in my room, and I would want to be alone. I've definitely, the Lord has redeemed me from that, and I'm so thankful. But along with that, I think I got a different mindset, and I was thinking, about all the horrible things that could go wrong in my life, and I was a very negative thinker, and that's just how I thought. I wish that I wasn't, but I am. And in middle school, I guess I could say that my father wasn't always there for me. Not that he wasn't physically there. He lived at home. he would be there every day when I got home, but he wasn't there in the sense that I needed him. And so I realized that about sophomore year, and I hated him so much. I hated my father for everything because basically he never talked to me. I felt like he didn't care. I felt like he didn't love me. I had lack of love in my life because I didn't want to talk to any of my family members. I felt like nobody cared. And so it just added to the depression. I mean, thankfully now I can look back, and I can just see the light, and I mean, I love my father so much, and there's definitely been a change of heart in me. My father hasn't done anything different. He still does everything the same, but the Lord has loved me, and I think I realized something that was good to realize is that I can't love with Christ's love unless I give up all the hate in my life. And I thought maybe if I held on to this or that, I could still be a good Christian, and I could just spread God's love, and I could do all this stuff, and I could be this great Christian. But I realized until I loved my family, I could never even think about being called a daughter of God. And so, I mean, that definitely helped me. I think one thing that definitely helped me get through high school and a lot of that stuff was just my friends backing me up, and my youth pastor and stuff. And my youth pastors, I guess I have like two, but they definitely have helped me get through it and to overcome a lot of the stuff that I've been through. And recently I got involved with a boy, and I mean, he's wonderful and he's striving after the Lord, but we both kind of realized that we don't really want a relationship, and we don't know if we're ready yet, so we kind of stepped back a little bit, which was really hard because we were both very, we both really cared about each other. So I just felt, speaking in ways of black and white, we were dating. So there was no there was no gray in between. Like if it was between not dating and dating, we were dating. And so basically, like backing up from being together and hanging out a lot and showing each other that we cared for each other, to saying we need to just be friends strictly, really limited me, and it really broke me. And I'm still going through a healing process. But I know that the Lord is with me, and that He'll help me through anything. One of the things that I absolutely love, I love to tell people when it comes to my life is and just recently I've realized this, like I was at this spot, and I don't know why, but I was at this spot with the Lord, and it was such a great spot, and I know for the first time in my entire life, a couple months ago, I think it was, that I really experienced God in my life. And I can say to people, I've drank from the well, and it is good, because it really, truly is, and there's nothing that compares to that ever. There's nothing physically, there's nothing mentally, there's nothing spiritually, nothing in any sense that could ever satisfy you as much as the Lord. And I know there's a lot of hurting people out there who are specifically girls who feel like they need to fill their lives with that junk, but I hurt so much. My heart breaks for all those girls who think that they need to sell their body to get anything or be worth anything, but it's ridiculous. Stop. I just get so frustrated seeing girls who chase after that and not know it. It hurts my heart. But that's one of the things that I've been thinking about recently, and I've been listening. Switchfoot's my favorite band, just because their lyrics are so raw and they're so real, and they're not afraid to ask questions where other Christians are. But I know I'm not in a world where I belong, and that's a whole song that Switchfoot writes about. And I just look around at this world, and I think about what I'm striving for, and I see the toxins of this world and how toxic it really is, and I look, and I mean, like, sex isn't a bad thing, it's not meant to be a bad thing, but the way that we use it in America, like, it pollutes my mind, pollutes everybody's mind so much, and it just frustrates me, because I know I'm not meant to be here, and it's hard to get around civilization without seeing the way that it says we're supposed to be. I thought, I mean, like, and I still struggle with it. I mean, like, I see something, and I see a girl, and I see a woman, and it says in society that is who you're supposed to be, and so I strive after that, and I think if I lose this much weight, I will be the perfect woman. Let me tell you, it will never work. The skinniest people I know still struggle with wanting to be skinnier. It's sick. It's sick. I can't handle it. There is nothing that this world has to offer that will satisfy. Absolutely nothing. And I've had to learn that the hard way, and I'm still learning it. It's definitely something that's made real to me, and sadly Satan knows how to get in my brain easily. And you don't think he does, but he is not a stupid person by any means. He will take the tiniest thing, squeeze his way in, and expand it to life size, I guess you could say it, and it'll mess you up. The only way that you can ever get rid of that is just by seeking the Lord with all your heart, finding his identity before looking for yours, and knowing that he is in complete control of your life. One of my best friends, my youth pastor, one of them, Josh, we talk all the time about just big real life questions, stuff that just pops into my head. And today in church we happen to talk about eternity, and it's real confusing because I mean it's, and God is kind of like, it's real funny because he'll say stuff in the Bible, and he'll tell us stuff, but he won't completely go into detail about it. And it probably makes plenty of sense. All this stuff in the Bible makes sense. We just don't know how to take it. So we think, oh, well, this is how it's supposed to be. It's like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. And we're just trying to figure out eternity. Like, there's just so many things that people have taken out of context nowadays, and they think that it's supposed to be one way, and we've totally strayed off the path from that. But I don't know. I don't want people to make a resistance. I don't ever want some people to follow this and make their own video and make such a big resistance that they shut out other people. I hope and I pray that this is something that doesn't go away. I pray that people will continue to be open, and people will share their stories, and they'll want to trust other people. But that they won't shut out other people as they do that. I find it just makes me so sad, because our culture nowadays doesn't say love your neighbor or know your neighbor, like even literally in your neighborhood. We lock our doors every time we leave the house, and obviously that's sinful humankind. but we lock our doors, we lock our cars, we lock everything up. We don't let anybody see anything. We keep our secrets to ourselves. We tell maybe one or two people, but even they don't know everything. One of my friends, Zach, knows everything about me, and that's it. I don't tell everybody everything, and that sounds so horrible because I have so many close friends, but there's like secrets inside of me even now that, I'm ashamed that I don't want to say. But I hear my teachers, and I hear my grandparents and my parents tell me about how when they were younger, they would walk around the neighborhood and everybody would be friendly, and they would know all their neighbors on the block, and they would know the ones next to them on that block, and everything. And it just makes me so sad that we have to stray from that. We can't even, like, my relatives in Brooklyn don't even know their neighbor. They don't ever talk to them, and they live in the same house because they have a combined apartment, and it's ridiculous. I wish that we could just be closer with the people and be more open with neighbors and with friends and with relatives. I still struggle with that. I'm getting closer to my family, but whoever, any part of my family is watching this, I'm sure that you could guess that I cut, but I highly doubt that they knew that. I highly doubt you knew that. Because I kept it so hidden. But I honestly, I love my family so much, and I don't want to hide things from them. I don't. It's not what we were meant to do. If you look in the Bible, Paul was so open with everybody that he came in contact with. He wrote letters. He personally wrote letters to people to show them how much he cared. And we don't do that. We don't. We say we're going to pray for somebody, and then it never happens. That's just how it works, because that's what society says is okay. One of the things that I know I struggle with is feeling weak, and I don't like to show people how I feel, and if I'm going through a hard time, that's probably why a lot of the time, I never told people that I cut or anything, because I struggle with that. I don't like to have people take pity on me or anything, and that's one thing that I struggle with, and that's one thing I need to be more vulnerable to. As Josh said in his resistance video, a thing that I fear being alone for the rest of my life. And immediately when any of my close friends say, and I guess I'm a pretty jealous person, I would say, I don't know, but when they say about having a really deep conversation and talk or with somebody and they've become a closer friend, and they were like, yeah, I really think that I could be really close friends with these people, and I can talk to them about anything, and it's inside of me, I'm just I'm being replaced, I'm alone, I'm never gonna have anybody, will I ever have a good close friend? What if I never get married? What if I never ever have a future? And it all just goes back down to if I don't have a future, I could care less, because I know that God will provide for me. I know with my heart that anything in the future will be so joyful. And obviously I'm gonna hit rough times, but everything is gonna be so joyful just because I have the Lord. And oftentimes when we hit a high part in our life, we feel like we're invincible. We feel like, I'll trust the Lord forever, but just wait till you hit that low, because it's coming. And I pray for anybody who sees this video that they will recognize that Satan is already divvying up a plan. And you're going to hit And it's going to be soon, and it's coming. You just need to trust in God even more when you're at that low. I mean, I've experienced plenty of them. But I know that the Lord is with me no matter what, so I'm not really worried about it. Another thing that I found interesting, I was talking to my friend last night, and I told him I was getting ready for my resistance video, and he said, you mean the thing that Josh did? Is he like infecting everybody? And I was like, infecting. That's a really good word, because I would love to say that, to call it an infection. I want to infect people. I want to make them infected for Christ, and I want to make it so that the only cure is by letting their story be known, by talking to other people, by showing that there is more to life than what we're living. I love the Switchfoot song Where I Belong, as I said before, and we were just listening to it on the way over, and the one line, it says, I want to see a generation waking up inside. And I just told Josh this, I feel we are so close, that we're closer than any other generation to see Christ and strive for it and be that difference. That we could change the entire course of America and the world. And for some reason, there's something holding us back. There's something inside that nobody wants to that everybody has one thing that they don't want to let go of. If we let go of that, I know that all you Christians out there believe that there can be something so much better. Like, imagine it. Imagine the world the way it's supposed to be lived. I just want to be that generation. I want to be a part of that. I don't want to just sit around and pretend like the world's never going to get better. I want to live my life like a song. I want to live it like an exciting story. I'm reading Love Does by Bob Ross. Goff, not Ross. And it intrigues me because it's totally different. It's just him telling stories, and I thought to myself, like, how do you have this many stories in life, this many exciting stories that you can tell, like, and it's because he lived, like, he doesn't strive to live his life like a story, but he strives so that he doesn't regret anything, and he takes every opportunity, because he never knows when it's going to glorify the Lord, and I want to be like that. I want to take every opportunity I can to spread the love of Jesus. And I don't want to stop until everything is underneath the Lord and everybody is subdued to Him. Because it's going to happen one day. And the people who are resisting against what we're resisting for, against, they're going to wish that they hadn't. I guess I just want to leave with kind of the quote that goes with The Help, that book by Catherine Stockett. On the cover of the book it says, "Change starts with a whisper." And it's kind of humorous because this whole thing that Josh and I and friends were talking about started with us whispering at creation. And I hope and I pray that it doesn't end, that the whispering continues into a loud roar, and that one person can make that difference. Well, I mean, that's the end of my story. That's the end of what I think, my fears, my struggles, I guess. If you have anything you want to talk about, I know that Josh, my youth pastor, is there for you, and you can talk to him about it. Just make a video, talk about your life. Don't be afraid to to share with other people. Just share the love of Christ that you have. I don't care if you're whatever you are, if you're Christian, non-Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, gay, straight, I don't really care. I love everybody, and I want to talk to everybody. So if you really need something, I'm here to talk. But yeah, I guess that's just what I feel. So thanks for listening.